instructor, director of our whole body, mind, life, and society, nation. So we are to understand the basic fundamentals, the basic concept. If we are fighting for sitting, fighting for getting any kind of job, we have to understand the concept because our country is known as the founder, starter, beginner, initiator of all the cultures of the world. Whenever we see any culture, custom, language, sect, all are created by our universal culture, by our unique culture. Our culture's message is the strongest message for the India. It makes us able to feel the presence of God. It makes us able the more religious and spiritual by nature. It takes us towards the reality. It provides us the human values, moral values like patience, empathy, compassion, brotherhood, love. Everything is provided, but how we can become omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient? It is really a great experiment and experience of the human soul. Externally we are busy. Outwardly, we are always busy with having some sort of literature, with having some sort of theoretical kind of workings. But the real aim is to understand our soul, is to understand our spirit. We are well and good in our understanding the subjects. Earlier we have discussed that in all kind of subjects, like we study science, arts, commerce, engineering, these are the secondary kind of subjects. These are not less than the superiority, not less than our religion. But the base of all these things has come from our religious scripture. Time and again, we are to study our holy literature, our religious kind of books again and again, for understanding the concept of science, for understanding the concept of mathematics, for understanding the laws of economics, for understanding the laws of history, for understanding the laws of geography. So there are different laws we study just by getting the foundation and fundamentals from our holy scripture. So the reflection of the past gives us the base. It tells us how do we understand the concept of the different sort of English, different sort of subjects of science, engineering, arts and commerce. For example, if we want to understand the law of nature, then there are so many similarities between the law of nature and between the law of economy. Law of economy tells us the law of demand, law of supply, these things, and the law of nature similarly have the same principle, similarly have the same doctrine. If we want to understand the law of nature, the nature is so soft and so friendly and fearless that it takes us towards understanding the relativities and connectivities of the different kind of societies, different kind of economic departments. How we cannot understand if we are the true meditators? But for understanding these things, we are to be a true meditator by the navigation, by concentrating upon the principles and doctrines of the different subjects. We can understand, we can make it readable, we can make it correctness, bring the perfection of the information and instructions. We cannot understand these things accurately and correctly if we don't have the understanding of the concept and fundamentals of any language. For the students, those who are appearing, those who are going to appear in the competitive classes, they are to study GK, general knowledge, and commerce students also, arts students, science students. All the students must have to be understood about our different kind of fundamentals that are very necessary. If we don't know the knowledge of the starter, beginner, initiator, how we can understand the artist, how we can understand the scientist, how we can understand the laws of the different theories. So it is our first thing, our first lesson that is provided by our Holy Scripture. We must know, we must go through the Holy Scripture daily. It should be in our daily routine, our present time is really important. If one idea, if one thought, if one word can change the whole scenario of the environment, of the atmosphere, then how one idea, one thought, one ness can no change, cannot bring an information. On the other side, on the opposite of it, if we are committing any mistake, if we have any drawback, shortcoming, fault in our daily life, in our routine life, then one can ruin, one can spoil, one can destroy, one can devastate our whole program. So one is the biggest theory for understanding. By the one, so many persons has brought change. If you take the example of Ashoka the Great. Ashoka earlier was the most cruelest person, was the most kindless person of the world, but later on by becoming perfect of the one idea, one thought, one religion, Buddhism, then he changed into Ashoka the Great. So this is the greatest example for those who have the narrow thinking, those who have prejudices, those who have impurities in their mind, those who think that we cannot change, we cannot reform, we cannot return. How have they changed? How they have brought an extraordinary, uncommon change in their life. So they are really history setter, and they have become the exceller and surpasser, and showed us the path of humanity. How a man cannot change his nature if he is compelled by circumstances, offerings, by pressure, we can change. It is possible. There were so many persons in the history, like there was a remarkable, well-known prostitute Ganga. There was a remarkable sadhana who was a great butcher, slaughter of the animals. And even we can take the example of great blender, a Jamal. So these are the cited examples that we study in the history. These are the few names. But nowadays, so many changes are there, so many reformers are there. Those who are bringing the change by adopting the ideal path of living, just by knowing the truth through science and spirituality both. Both are the two sides of the one coin. One, if we want to understand the one, then second one is not unattached. That is relating, that is connective. So for connecting, for relating, both of these sides, we must have the base of these things. If we are baseless, we don't have any foundation, we don't know our establishments, we don't know the lifestyle, we don't know the struggles period of that person, those who are the initiators. Like Sri Vivekananda Maharaj was the start of Sikhism. Shyam Sanaji Maharaj was the starter of the great health institution, Vera Sattva, and the starter of Buddhism, Gautama Buddha, starter of Jainism, Mahavir Swami, and the starter of Brahma Samaj, Rajaram Mondore, the starter of Arya Samaj, Jnana Saraswati, starter of Ram Mission, Swami Vivekananda. We understand there is few examples of the starters and beginners. We have the ideal, we have the role model in our life. But if we only know the name of these role models, it's not sufficient and proficient for getting success. We must know that what was their past, how have they struggled, how have they strived hard in their life physically, mentally, emotionally, nationally, even mentally, heartily and spiritually. How they were, all these examples of that persons tell us their autobiographies. Through their autobiographies, through their writings, we understand how do we spend our life. Are we adopting their path? Are we the believers of that starter, of that experimentalist and experienced personality? Those who were the multi-dimensional, those who were multi-sided and multifaceted kind of persons. Whenever care of obstacles, hindrances, problems, and even any kind of difficulties, because these difficulties became the path, these difficulties brought a power in them. If anyone has any kind of fault, shortcoming, drawback, so that becomes his or her achievement later on. That is his achievement, because that is not less than the blessing and grace of God. God, Lord, who has blessed us everything, He can change, He can bring change in our nature, in our style, in our manner, in our skill. Everything He can change by the one moment. So how we can say that we are creatures? Everything is as per the will of God. No doubt. Everything whatsoever is happening, that is as per the will and wish of God. But it is a human right. It is the special right for the human beings that they must try to use, they must try to apply said in Bhagavad Gita that karma is dharma, action is the reason. But what is the supreme action? What is the highest action? That is to be selfless. This is the ornament, and this is the decoration of the human soul. If a man is truly selfless, works for others, for the humanity, then nature never leave any stone unturned. It showers, bestows numberless blessings and grace in return. But we should not have desire, we should not have expectations. If we expect, then we stop. Our expectations, our desire break on us for going ahead. So this is the theory that we can read in the principle and doctrine of the Buddhism. When he went in the forest, leading to the forest, he got reunited with that supernatural power. And by his insight, by his intuition, he got that we are to meditate on the new idea that becomes our new love. Then we see with the eyes of spirit, we listen with the spirit, with the mouth of that spirit. Then we perform the action with the spirit. So, spirit is necessary. Says immortality. It is and it will. It can never be abolished. It can never be aborted at any rate. Where is the distance of soul? Lots of understand because the child of man. How a child becomes the father of man? Just by being or lessness. By his thoughtlessness. What kind of thoughtlessness? He do not try. He doesn't try to create the expressions by words, only by physical posture, by body language, by gesture. The child tries to express its emotions and thoughts. So a mother knows well who is the first trainer, who is the first teacher, who is the first doctor of a child. She tells how, what, where, when the child is feeling, what does the child want. It is as per the understanding of the mother with the son. So gentlemen, ladies, for all of us it is very deplorable, contemplative topic of science and spirituality. Both these topics are very important for the successful life. is covered